New York is so big and so diverse a place that you could live here for lifetimes and not experience all the amazing things the city has to offer. Even figuring out where to start your NYC trip is a daunting task. But we want to help you cut down the impossibly long list of ways to spend your day. Whether you're a local realizing you've yet to fully explore the city's parks and history, or an out-of-towner who doesn't know the Met from the MoMA, these quintessential stops will help you catch a glimpse of the city's beating heart. Brooklyn Bridge. When the Brooklyn Bridge was constructed in 1883, extending 1,595 feet across the East River, connecting Lower Manhattan to Brooklyn Heights, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Now, it's a historic staple of the New York City skyline, transporting commuter car traffic underneath and touristic foot traffic above. Standing before arches and rectangles with city skyscrapers rising in the distance, will at once inspire a sense of grandiosity and slightness. Coney Island. Coney Island has a reputation as a circus-worthy tourist trap, which is exactly what it is. But you may be surprised by the old-timey charms of this beachfront American town. You'll definitely be impressed by the food and drinks, Totonno's Pizza, Gargiulo's and Coney Island Brewery in particular. Locals and tourists hang out on the beach, eat ice cream cones on the promenade, and stand in line for the famed Cyclone roller coaster. The beach and boardwalk along with spots like Nathan's are open year-round. The amusement park itself is seasonal. The High Line. The High Line is a perfect example of what New York City does best: cleverly rehabs old spaces into exactly what you want them to be. When a 1.45-mile-long abandoned freight rail on Manhattan's West End was transformed into an elevated, mixed-use public park in 2009, New Yorkers came running. Towering 30 feet above buzzing 11th Avenue, the High Line is a masterful feat of landscape architecture that melds walkways, benches, and chaise lounges with grass, perennials, trees, and bushes in perfect unkempt harmony. Central Park. Step off the crowded sidewalks of 59th Street into Central Park and you'll hardly realize what lies before you: 693 acres of man-made gardens, meadows, forests, and rolling hillsides. If you ambled down every one of Central Park's pathways, you would walk 58 miles. Along the way, you pass fountains, monuments, sculptures, bridges, and arches, plus 21 playgrounds, a winter ice skating rink, a zoo, and even a castle. But you'd hardly notice the four major crosstown thoroughfares, which cleverly disappear into foliage-covered tunnels, the cloisters. Located on 4 acres in northern Manhattan's Fort Tryon Park, the Met Cloisters is a branch of the Metropolitan Museum of Art and is America's only museum dedicated exclusively to the art and architecture of the Middle Ages. The building overlooks the Hudson River and actually incorporates 5 medieval-inspired cloisters into a modern museum structure, creating a historic, contextualized backdrop in which to view the art. Dover Street Market, New York. When London's shopping hotspot Dover Street Market debuted its New York outpost in December 2013, throngs of accessorized fashionistas camped out for days outside its Lexington Avenue entrance. Dover Street is more than just a luxury department store, it's a fashion meets art exhibition space. Featured designers configure their own display areas, allowing the shopper to interact with the clothes in a holistic manner that takes you inside the designer's world, as opposed to just picking through dresses hanging on a metal rack. Also don't miss the ground floor cafe, Rose Bakery. Whitney Museum of American Art. The Whitney got a major upgrade when it relocated from the Upper East Side to its vastly expanded meatpacking headquarters in 2015. It houses 50,000 square feet of indoor galleries with works by Jean-Michel Basquiat, Richard Avedon, and Alexander Calder, 4 outdoor exhibition spaces and terraces, and a ground floor restaurant and top floor bar, both by Danny Meyer, one of the town's best-known restaurateurs. The floors are connected by 2 artist-designed elevators, albeit slow-moving, crowded ones. If mobility isn't an issue, take the stairs instead, which offer uninterrupted views of the Hudson River. The upper floors and sculpture terraces are also connected by a series of exterior staircases, with great views of the downtown skyline, and a rare opportunity to experience art en plein air. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. For nearly a century and a half, the Met has remained the cultural epicenter of New York City, thanks to forward-thinking exhibits and an extensive permanent collection. With its Gothic Revival style building, iconic tiered steps, and Central Park location, the building is a sight to be seen. But step inside its Great Hall, as a ceaseless parade of museum-goers move to and fro, and you'll feel the overwhelming sense of possibility and discovery that lays beyond. If you've got limited time or compatriots with limited attention spans, start with the Temple of Dendur, a 2,000-year-old soaring Egyptian temple, the only complete one in the Western Hemisphere. The Strand Bookstore. With its towering stacks, filled with more than 2.5 million titles, this 93-year-old bookstore is less neighborhood haunt and more globally recognized institution. You could call the Strand's employees tour guides, considering their deft ability to find the exact title you're looking for and recommend a book you may not have otherwise plucked from the shelves. The store will make you question why you don't read more, and chances are you won't leave empty-handed. The Morgan Library and Museum. The Morgan is like a multi-hyphenate millennial, only instead of actress/model/influencer/whatever, it's museum/library/landmark/historic site/music venue. Inside the multimillionaire's personal library, expanded into a must-see museum and cultural space, you'll find rare artifacts, paintings, and books, some dating back to 4000 BC that are worth more than your house. In particular, the museum is home to one of 23 copies of the original Declaration of Independence, Mozart's handwritten score of the Hofner Symphony, the collected works of African-American poet Phillis Wheatley, the only extant manuscript of Milton's Paradise Lost, and Charles Dickens's manuscript of A Christmas Carol. Swoon. Statue of Liberty. In 2019, 4.2 million tourists visited Liberty Island, the 14-acre swath of land 1 mile south of Lower Manhattan where the Statue of Liberty rests. While there is no fee to visit Liberty Island, you do have to pay for a round-trip ferry ride via Statue Cruises. The ferry also stops on Ellis Island, part of the national park, which houses the Ellis Island National Museum of Immigration, where visitors can search ship manifests for the records of their relatives. If you plan to visit the statue's pedestal or crown, plan ahead. There are a limited number of tickets available each day and they sell out weeks, if not months, in advance. Also plan on spending the day, it can 6 hours to properly visit the statue in Ellis Island. Governor's Island. For almost 2 centuries, this 172-acre isle in the heart of New York Harbor was closed to the public, operating as a military base. Now, anyone can visit Governor's Island's monuments, parks, and exhibitions during summer and early fall, May through October, 7 days a week. To get there, all you need is a round-trip ferry ticket, and New York residents just have to show a valid state license to ride free. Governor's Island has immediate escapist appeal, but most people go for a memorable event: music festivals, pop-up dinners, art exhibits, dance performances, the list goes on. Washington Square Park. If people watching is your sport, Washington Square Park is your place. Entertainment is a given in this intimate, not quite 10-acre space, filled with career chess players, musicians, performers, students, sunbathers, strollers, and general throngs of Greenwich villagers, desperate for a bit of fresh air. Take your time as you go through, pause beneath Washington Arch, honoring our country's first president, for whom the park is named, and observe the laurel wreaths and intricate motifs that extend from the base to the keystones, atop which twin eagles perch like constant watchmen. Washington Square Park is the beating heart of this vibrant New York neighborhood. Bronx Zoo. With more than 700 different animal species spread across 265 acres of parkland thoughtfully designed to mimic natural habitats, the Bronx Zoo is a great place to escape from Manhattan for the day, especially if you're traveling with kids. Don't miss the Giraffe Building, the Congo Gorilla Forest, the House of Reptiles, the Flamingos in the Seabird Aviary, and the Sea Lions, who always make for an exciting show. For lack of a better metaphor, this place is a zoo. If you're looking for a quiet and meditative way to spend a few hours, skip it. But if you want to blow the minds of a bunch of kids, you can do no better. Hey guys, that's all we have for you today.